Hello, everybody. Joe Bacon Donuts here, and welcome back for another episode of Umineko. Fuck, I haven't played Umineko in like over a year and a half. What the fuck am I talking about? Tsukihime. Don't know where that one came from. Not one bit. But yeah. Hey, hello everyone. Tsukihime Remake here. Get ready to have a grand old time as I slowly descend into insanity. But it's fine because it's Friday, so I don't have to go into work tomorrow, so I can be insane as long as I want, as long as I don't cause any problems for the neighbors, which hopefully I'll be done recording within a couple hours, and, the sun will just be setting, so they won't have any reason to call the police for noise complaints. Not that that's ever happened before. It really hasn't. Even when I was on night shift and on my days off, I'd be recording at like 3 in the morning. Now, obviously, I'm mindful of not making too much noise, even though I'm in like a standalone house and there's several feet between like the sunroom where I record and like some random wall of my neighbor's house. Now, and there's a hedge in between and a couple feet there, but it's like what if they're letting their dog out and they just hear me like screaming into my microphone and they're like, "Oh fuck, someone needs help. Let's call the police and an ambulance." I'd rather have to avoid that awkward conversation with the first responders. So we keep everything to a calm, smooth, dulcet tones here. At least I try to, and at least I hope I'll be able to. The throat's a little dry today. I think it was just a lot of pollen in the air today, which fortunately I don't really get fall allergies that much. Spring allergies, oh man, I get my teeth kicked in during the spring whenever the trees around here go into bloom. Also found out this year I'm probably allergic to palm trees because I was in Spain and the only thing around was palm trees, and oh dude, I was going through it. It was terrible. Fucking sneezing, puffy eyes, runny nose, like just red. It was awful. Terrible. Don't know what it is, I used to never get seasonal allergies growing up as a kid. Then, puberty hit and your body's hormones go into like haywire crazy mode, and then I guess my immune system just decided to register pollen as something that's trying to kill me. So it's like, fuck you, you can't kill me if I kill myself first. And then that's how seasonal allergies happen. I was fine for a couple of years because I moved out west. Kind of like right on the edge of the Columbia Plateau, if Pacific Northwest geography. And if you do, that place is classified as a desert in some spots. There's like no trees either. It's just all grass and like those like shrubs and tumbleweeds. Which, fun fact, if you didn't know, tumbleweeds aren't native to the United States. In fact, they're a relatively recent addition. I believe they're like Ukrainian in origin. They come from like the Eurasian steppe. I know that much at least. Like seeds came over in like Ukrainian grain shipments to the U.S. and Canada, and they just grew out of control. Tumbleweeds, they're crazy. Like during the right time of year, you see them up against like chain link fences, absolutely fucking burying the things. They can get huge too, like multiple feet across. And if you hit them with your car when they decide to cross the road without looking both ways, it can be not super annoying, but they can get like stuck on the fender, and then you're just dragging them, and you just got to listen to it, and then you got to pull over and put on your gloves because they're actually quite thorny and prickly, and like tear them out. So that way they stop whistling, they stop dragging. It's just not very fun at all. But the moral of the story is, in places where there's no trees, I'm fine. In places where there are trees out west, I'm fine. It's something on the East Coast. I don't know if it's a grass, if it's a tree, a shrub, whatever it is, it gets me. And I don't have to deal with them in the fall that much. I get a little, maybe a little puffy eye, but I'm not like dying. Anyway, That's how my day's going. Hi, hey, hello. How are you? Last night. What did we do last night? Well, last night for me was probably 2 days ago. If you're watching these as they come out for you, or maybe you're watching them back to back and it was 5 minutes ago for you. Well, we got our first dead end, so that was fun. We gotta go see CL Sensei and the True Heroine Necro Arc. And then we got lore dumped for an hour about different kinds of vampires and mystic eyes and all that fun stuff. Had a grand old time, recategorizing the like miscellaneous information I have in my brain that like it's all there, but it's not in the right order. Just had to go through it bit by bit, sort it, put it in its right order, get all the ducks in a row, and now we're good to go. Move on, and probably die again relatively soon. Anyway, though, that's neither here nor there. What is right here is the screen in sleep mode because the Switch sucks and it automatically goes into sleep mode on its own. And it turns out if you hit the B button, that's how you get rid of the text box, so you can see all the cool CGs. Neat. Also, wow, it's a lot more noticeable when you take it on and off like that. The slight darkened filter, and I'm not quite sure what those are on the bottom. If they're like glass shards, like flower petals, just miscellaneous dust. It kind of looks like frost. If you ever see the like when the space shuttle takes off, it's got all the coolant on like that causes frost on the outside of like the boosters that then falls off when it's rumbling and all the fire and it takes off. Kind of looks like that, but I'm just gonna assume it's a stylistic choice. But yeah, let's get the show on the road before I end up ranting for 10 minutes straight. Arcueid is seated on the bed. I'm on the sofa, aimlessly staring at the clock. It's just past 4 a.m. Only an hour or so to go until sunrise.
あと1時間か。
Nothing out of the ordinary has happened so far, and Arcueid doesn't look the slightest bit nervous. The hotel is perfectly peaceful. I've been pretty nervous myself, but it's starting to look like I didn't need to be. Well, Arc doesn't need to be nervous because she's the fucking biggest fish in whatever pond she goes to. There's nothing that can hurt her until, fucking you came along fishing with dynamite. But, she's still in that mindset. It's nice. I have a feeling the night will pass uneventfully, just like this.
ねえ、シキ。
The umpteenth time this night, Arcueid calls out to me.
なんだよ。もう話すこととかないからな、こっちは。
Yes, no, you cannot play fucking Super Mario N64 on the TV. Those rentals are a scam. You have to pay like $10 for like 15 minutes, and you can barely get into the game before you have to shell in more cash.
そうなの？せっかく
Dude,
こう
do
してるの
hotels
に
still
も
have
ったいない
those?
ね。
They did when I was a kid anyway. You have to go to like the right channel and go through the rental, and they charge your room at the front desk. And then your parents get mad at you because you did it without telling them. And now they have to pay like an extra $70 because you've been playing fucking Mario on the N64 for an hour straight.
あのな、さっきからどれだけおしゃべりに付き合ってると思ってるん
Yep,
だ。
certified yapper.
6時間だぞ、6時間。何が疲れたかって、見張りなんかよりそっちの方が疲れたよ、俺は。
Arcueid shoots me a dissatisfied pout. Too many S's in that word. It's been like this all night. For whatever reason, Arcueid just keeps talking to me. I told her that if she's so weak, she should just get some sleep instead.
話している方が楽しいから。
How did we end up like this? Same. I really have no idea what's going through her head. Nothing. Nothing at all. The only dielectric in her skull is air. On top of that, I'm starting to get hungry. Now that I think about it, it's been nearly an entire day since I last ate something. The last meal I had was yesterday's breakfast.
お腹が減っているなら何か食べたら？
Yeah, room service. It's gonna be real expensive
せ
though.
っかくホテルに泊まってるんだからルームサービスを使えばいいのに。
It was $27 to get a plate of fish and chips when I was staying in Iceland through room service.
いえ、緊張感がそがれる。
Absolutely
そういう
crazy.
お前の方こそ何か食べた方がいいんじゃないか。弱ってるくせに眠りもしないんだから、せめて食事ぐらいしろよ。
式がいいなら私もやめとく。普通の食事もそれなりに意味はあるけど、一人で食べてもつまらないもの。
You know, I'm split on that.
普通の食事って食事に普通も特別も。
It all depends on the company you're eating the food with. You know, if you're just like stuck at a table with someone you don't really like, it's like I don't want you to exist. I just want to eat my food and then leave. Right. She doesn't look like one, but she's still a vampire. Her meals would normally consist of human blood. She said it herself. Vampires need human blood to survive. Which means she's drunk the blood of others before. Wonder how many humans she's killed in her life. Buddy's bad at paying attention to the small details. I steal a glance at Arcueid. Can't just wrap my head around it. No matter how many times she explains the intricacies of vampires to me, I just can't imagine her drinking blood. Crazy. It's almost like she doesn't have to. Except, you know, the one time.
何？私の顔になんかついてる？
I quickly look away. It's her turn to stare at me now. The corners of her lips pull up into a mischievous grin.
気になる？
何が？
私がどのくらいの数人間から血を吸ったのか。
Read like a book. She saw right through me. Her happy, smug smile is enough to unsettle me. I don't like it, but I can't deny that I'm morbidly curious as to how many people she's killed. She's gonna morb out.
そりゃ気になるよ。
It's gonna be crazy
俺はお
once
前と
Lob
協力し
shows
てるん
up.
だ。
She's gonna morb all over that guy.
それぐらい知っとかないと、いつお前が心変わりして襲いかかってくるか予測がつかないだろ。
It's a legitimate concern to have. Arcueid nods along, seemingly satisfied with my reasoning.
それじゃあ問題。私は今まで何人の血を吸ってきたでしょう。
1 million. Arcueid hops off the bed with a bounce and heads back over to the window.
何人のって、それは。
Arcueid smiles sweetly. She seems to be enjoying herself. She's clearly trying to get a rise out of me. Fine, I'll play this game. This strange woman has to have killed 1,000. No, we get in her good graces. I don't know, 10.
10人は少ない。
はい、全然惜しくない外れね。
じゃあ100単位か。
Wrong way, bud.
残念、日和切った外れです。
Thousands?
なら1000単位なのか。
You monster.
はい、それも豪快に外れだわ。
Arcueid chuckles softly to herself. I'm not angry with her. I'm starting to feel very frustrated.
じゃあそんなことはないと思うけど、まさか万。
それも外れ。もう10だの100だの1000だのって式は私のことそういう風に見てたわけね。ひど
I
い
mean,
な。
you
それ
saw
じゃ
what
あ
you
見
did
境
to
な
the
しじゃない。
zombies.
違うのか。吸血鬼ってのは見境なしなんだろう。人間だって生きてるだけで腹が減るんだ。お前たちだって
Mhm.
生きていくために血を吸うんなら再現はないんじゃないのか。
Yeah, you know, it is what it is, you know, just nature taking its course.
そうね。
You know,
それはそうなん
full
だ
on
けど。
Dio stuff, you know. Have you counted how many slices of bread you've eaten in your life?
私は自分から血を吸うなんて この800年一度もないかな。普通の人間を殺したことだって
Plants for
一度も
hire.
ないよ。
Such a weird thing to hear a vampire say. But I still find myself asking the question. Actually, I can't remember. Is she lying here? Because I know Roa is her fault. And I'm pretty sure she drank Roa's blood. But I can't fully remember. You know, honest Mittens Michael, he got his start, you know, from the white woman. The origin of all man's sin and worries and heartbreak.
それ本当の話か？
本当よ。だって私血を吸うのが怖いんだもの。
血を吸うのが怖いって吸血鬼なのに？
Yeah, it's like growing up in a house of drug addicts and you see what it does to them and how it like destroys them and you're like, "Ooh, wow. You know, that fence, you know, strong stuff. Better stay away from it."
きっと臆病なのよ、私は。だからいつまで経っても吸血鬼としても半人前ってこと。
Arcueid utters the words as she idly glances out the window. Are like actual half vampires a thing? Maybe? I don't know. She pauses to gaze at the night sky in a drawn-out moment of quiet. As I watch her, it feels like she's becoming less distant, a hazy phantasm drifting away. Less distinct, not distant.
そっか。半人前なんだ。
Just muttering those words provides an odd relief. Wait, why does it feel like a load has been taken off my shoulders? That's weird, right? Yep, it's definitely weird.
どうかしたの、シキ？
別に何でもない。お前が臆病なチキンだから笑っただけ。
Yep. Bok, 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 bok.
チキン？私、なんで鳥？
I mean, you got the color scheme down. Arcueid tilts her head in confusion. She really doesn't look like a vampire in the slightest. It's only natural for me to be relieved. How can I not be? Turned out that the person in front of me isn't anywhere near as evil as I feared. If what she says is true, then there's no reason for me to worry about Arcueid spontaneously killing me. And it's not just my newfound sense of safety that's bringing me relief. Must be something wrong with me. The idea that Arcueid doesn't count herself as a fully fledged vampire is what has me happiest of all. I can't believe I was so wrong about her this whole time.
あれ？
Yeah, now you feel extra bad for killing her, huh? Oh, getting a little see-through there. No, wait, no, that's the top of the screen, making me think it was the stars behind her. Just as I'm about to relax around Arcueid, I'm struck by a sharp sense of pain and vertigo. My vision is blanketed by a white haze. This isn't the same as my anemia. Still thinking too clearly for that. Strange cold chill accompanies my headache.
どうしたのよ、シキ？
Oh, you know, just like ice in my spine.
そんなに額に汗を浮かべちゃって。
汗。
I wipe the back of my hand across my forehead as I reply, and I'm met with far more wet, sticky sweat than I anticipated. It's weird. Judging by the sweat, you'd think I was in a sauna. As if urged by the pool of anxiety welling up in my chest, my eyes dart to the digital clock. It's 4:32 a.m. Too early for the sun to beat back against the chilly night air. Beat back against? Yeah, beat back against. The clock itself still lists the current temperature outside as a cool 11 degrees Celsius. It's way too cold for me to start breaking a sweat like this. So then why? Why does this room feel like I'm standing outside on a hot summer day?
アルクエイド、お前暑くないのか？
ん？ 別に活動に異常をきたすほどの温度じゃないでしょ。
I mean,
ま
it's
だた
warm,
った
but
の
it's not that
38
bad.
度だし。弱っているとはいえ、今の私でも3000度ぐらいまでなら普通だよ。
I got to the point in the desert where anything below 45 degrees C felt nice and comfy. I'm an idiot for even asking. Did she say 3,000 degrees Celsius? So you could throw a vampire on a grill and they wouldn't burn? No, this isn't the time to be thinking about that. The digital display still lists the temperature as 11 degrees. So either the clock is malfunctioning or my body is. I searched the room for another thermometer.
なんだあれ。
As I scan the room, my gaze becomes transfixed on the monitor displaying a live feed of the hotel lobby.
燃えて
Boosty! I can hardly believe my eyes. Something you'd only see in a movie. Pork! Upper! Flames spread through the lobby like water spilled from a sink. Mixed in the thick black smoke, I see a humanoid silhouette. Gives me the impression of a massive predator, a carnivore that eats those like it.
アルクエイド
Arcueid remains silent. Is it hostility I read in her expression? No. It'd be more like contempt. The two of us must be entertaining very different thoughts as we stare at this monitor. It takes less than a minute for the lobby to be entirely engulfed by the sea of flames. The fire alarm doesn't ring. The digital thermometer still hasn't changed. My body's drenched in sweat. Simply breathing the hot, dry air is enough to parch my throat. There's no time to think. They're here. Those flaming corpses from before have come to the hotel.
くそ
I make a run for the window to inspect the situation outside. Town looks the same as ever. The hotel is bathed in flames. Nobody outside seems to have noticed a thing. He probably set up a bounded field. There's no sign of aid rushing to the hotel, or of any humans frantically trying to escape the fire.
どうなってるんだアルクエイド
Arcueid keeps her mouth firmly shut, unwilling to say a word. Time simply passes. The temperature feels like it's getting hotter by the second. My skin feels like it could burn any minute. I don't know what things are like outside our room. Nor do I have any idea what things are like on the floors below. All I know is that it's awful, that the awful, ominous feeling gripping my chest, telling me that it's already too late. Arcueid is still silent. Is it because she's worried or frustrated? Her arms are crossed like she's hugging herself. Or maybe she's trying to hold herself back. She said she wouldn't leave this room. She said she didn't have the power right now. In which case, what did I come here for? Should. I think if we go outside, we're gonna get killed, so let's drop a save. Nope, wrong button. There we go. Ba-ba-ba. Actually, let me check the guide, because if I remember right, staying in the hotel room in the original gets you killed. It's either the shark, like, bites through the door, the wall, or a giant alligator or something. Okay, staying in the room gets you killed, so it's the same as last time. Just probably a different scenario. It's better to observe the situation from in here. It'd be reckless for me to go out there alone while Arcueid is still recovering. Time continues to pass. My fingers tighten around the knife as my eyes fixate on the video feed of the lobby bathed in flame. Arcueid's eyes are closed. Looking at her now reminds me of how beautiful, No, how powerful. She looked in the moonlight. It's been more than half a day since the fight in the alley. Surely she's regained a bit of her power by now. Now, she sits out in the lobby, does a little bit of perennial sunning, but, with the moon instead. Absorb the moon's rays and get stronger that way. Some real white woman shit. It's hot. Like I'm standing inches away from a massive bonfire, cooking and smoldering as the air in front of me distorts from the heat. It's getting harder to breathe. I figured that it'd be safe as long as I stayed inside the room. My head feels light. At this rate, I'm gonna pass out. Yeah, maybe speak up and be like, hey, Ark, I know you're good till 3,000 degrees Celsius, but humans can't really do over, 50 for very long. Fortunately, the air sounds dry, so that's better than hot, humid air, because that shit sucks. But should I go out there, knowing it's dangerous? I still have time. But just as I start to reevaluate my decision, the lights go out. The mysteriously high temperature suddenly drops again. At the same time, I hear it. An unending flurry of knocks against the door.
四季、覚悟はいい。
No, I have heat stroke. Arcueid's words are the only thing to break through the darkness. I swallow as I listen to the pounding.
覚悟って何の
There's no time for me to finish my question. Staying in this room was a mistake. I guess asking something like that was a mistake too. Hearing the splintering of wood, I whip around to face the door. Bork! It was just a split-second decision. But I distanced myself from the door in hopes it'd be safer. Little did I know what would happen next. The two dogs that broke the door down burst into the room. Arcueid slashes at them with her claws. The second she does, the room is flooded with fire. Hot flames wash over every corner until it's filled to the brim. Man, you could really say that was those are some hot dogs, huh? Unless we're dealing with incredible temperatures, a human won't die instantly when exposed to fire. But those flames hit like a blunt weapon, powerful enough to turn the body to ash in a single blow. It reminds me of a flamethrower. A flamethrower might look like it's launching flame at you, but in reality, it's merely dousing the target with fuel and igniting it a microsecond later. Its fire's pretty similar. The blaze strikes across the room like a whip, reducing everything it touches to cinders in an instant. What chance does the human body have against something that can melt its way through a wall or table? There's one small mercy at the center of this inferno, that the fire lashed straight through my wrist and instantly incinerated everything above it, sparing me the slow agony of burning alive. Oof! Well, that's good at least. Dying slowly and painfully sounds like it sucks. Yes, teach us, Miss CL. We'll listen to your dubious hints.
Welcome to my territory. ようこそ無残なバッドボーイ。
Hey, Nakawark.
まあどっちも同じやろ。なんて甘い考えで選択肢を選んでみればこのありさま。
Got us killed, at least not by Jaws.
消極的なメガネくんに勝つ。お入れる救済コーナー。教えてシエル先生、始まるよ。
2回目の方はこんにちは。初めての方はよろしくお願いします。
Yeah, a bit of an unfair choice.
大抵のプレイヤーさんはこちらの回が初見になると思われるので自己紹介から。 Q&A コ
Yeah,
ー
your
ナー
introduction
共感
that
役のシエル
sometimes
です。
choices
こ
in
ちら
these
は
stories
ア
are
シスタントの猫アルク。
fucking bullshit. And
毎
there's
回
no way you
端
would
的に
know.
デッドエンドの原因を説明しますので、少しだけお付き合いくだされば幸いです。
大抵は直前の選択肢がまずかったんで1個前に戻ればいいだけなんだけど、
Yeah.
たまにずいぶん前の選択が原因でデッドエンドになることもあるから油断なんに。
Uh-huh. You know, it's not till later in the game where you fuck up by, making a wrong choice 3 days ago.
そういうケースの解説はまたおいおい。今回はよくある即死系デッドエンドです。異常な事態に直面した際、慎重に様子を見るというのは正しい考えですが、今回はアウトで
Because
した
the
ね。
scenario writer thought it'd be funny.
何しろ逃げ場がありませんから。翼でもない限りホテルの屋上に陣取るのはおすすめできません。
I just gotta do some,
猫であれ
some
ば
Die
逃げら
Hard
れた
shit.
のだが、にゃんと身軽に空を飛べるからにゃ、猫は。
Yeah, you got your fucking jet boosters.
それは身が軽いという意味ですか？屋根から屋根に？
Oh god, she doesn't know.
でもホテルの最上階からは猫でもさすがに。
Yep.
ロケットで突き抜けた。
Just built
何の
different.
参考にもなりません、あの猫。
Yeah, just do that. That's all you gotta do to escape the lava. Is just, turn into a rocket. Alright, let's get back in there. Uh-huh. Yep. Oh. We should go out and investigate, it'll be fun. Maybe we'll find some clues, get a Scooby snack out of it.
よし。
Take a short, deep breath to clear my head. Search for something I could use as a weapon, but a quick survey of the room doesn't give me anything. I swallow my hesitation, take my knife from my bag, and head for the door.
四季、
様子を見てくる。俺が戻ってくるまで部屋から出る
I
な。
got a bad feeling, like I'll get a bad end and go to some strange afterlife if I stay in this room. Arcueid looks like she wants to say something, but I tear my gaze away and head into the hallway. And hopefully it's like if you hit one of their death points, which we haven't really seen so far. It's only been lines. We haven't seen any points of death. Maybe they just won't explode into fireballs. Because, they're already dead, so they can't do that. It's dark. I guess the lights must have malfunctioned. The only light I see is a faraway glow from the elevator hall. Throat burns more now. The air is thick and scraping against me like sandpaper. Silence in the hallway is unsettling. You could hear a pin drop. There isn't a single sign of life. No. Running in terror. You can just say people. No birds. Utter silence is making me question what I saw on the monitor just now.
異常はないよな。
Yep, no Yumidukas. I walk through the hallway. Sweat forms into beads and runs down my forehead. So quiet. I'm starting to think that I'm the intruder here. Intruder. Normally, you'd exterminate any pests that intrude in a place like this. That's all I can do to calm myself down. I readjust my grip on the knife so the sweat doesn't get slipped from my palm. Should probably get like a piece of paracord and wrap it around your wrist so that way you don't drop it. I do that when I'm working up on the tail of our jet. It's like over 100-foot drop, and if I drop my crescent wrench or something, it's one really bad because you could fall and fucking kill someone. Which, if you're working under us, you're supposed to have a hard hat. So hopefully it doesn't. But also, it's just really annoying to have to go back down and get it and then go all the way back up. I feel nauseous. There's a pressure near my temples. Somewhere between my eyes and my brain, my nerves experience a strange pull. As if my eyes are trying to crawl into my brain cavity. Maybe my brain's trying to swallow my eyes. Bite back against the dull, aching pain as I traverse through the heat wave blasting me from all sides. My eyes grow heavy. My eyelids feel like they're gaining mass. My body sways. I might just pass out. I know the feeling well. It's how I feel just before I collapse from anemia. It hurts. Pain is so unbearable, I have to take off my glasses. I look in the direction of the elevators. The corridor is so long. It's got to be more than 20 meters to the elevators from here. Oh, my throat. Coffee. It's too far, I tell myself. Back to the room. What is this? No more steps and there'll be no more going back. Listen to the strange voices in your head. You know, normally they're not supposed to be there, but this one, you know, it's a coin flip whether it's of sound mind and trying to help you, or, you know, be extremely self-destructive, but a clear sound. A gentle chime of the elevator shatters the silence, as if to herald the destruction of this pure, empty space devoid of life. A foreboding chill stops me in my tracks. My eyes are pulled towards the unwanted intrusion. Well, that's a nice elevator. I dig the Art Deco look. The small elevator light stops. It has arrived at its destination. I can see the line stretching across the elevator door in the distance. Oh. Shrouded by so many, a dense web of them, I can barely see the door. Weird, almost like the door's fated to, you know, die. Doors open. I peer inside the cramped metal box. Neat. The inside is overflowing with flesh. The flesh of things that were alive until a moment ago. Call that viscera. Giblets. If you're playing, fucking Quake or Unreal. My breathing ceases. Just like my brain refuses to process the things I'm seeing, and my lungs abandon their duty. I stare at the scene within the elevator. Thick chunks of red meat are packed tight are packed tight as they can be within the metal box. In the middle of it all are two dogs tearing at their morbid feast. My vision turns red. The nauseating squelching noise, a gelatinous mass of meat oozes out of the elevator. A sea of blood, carcass, bone, brain, fingers, and viscera. The pool of carnage only houses two living residents, dogs. The rational part of my brain refuses to accept this scene as reality. At the end of the hallway, the dogs are still digging into the mutilated cadavers. Terrible new sounds travel up through the elevator shaft. Discordant screams spill into the hallway. If I strain my ears, I can just make out the sound of flesh being gnawed on, intermingled with the shrieks of despair so anguished they hardly sound human. Feels like my hearing has found a shortcut to my imagination. Even though I can't see it with my eyes, carnage is all too clear in my mind's eye. People being burned alive. People being eaten alive. Man notices the unusual temperature and leaves his room to flee. The second he opens the door, he's enveloped by a hellish fire that roasts him to the bone. The young girl sobs in despair, locked in her room. The flames from the lobby reach her floor. She's in the bathtub. The water steams and bubbles, boiling her alive and turning her ruptured flesh to ash from the inside out. Then they clamor to get into an elevator that arrives. Inside, they find it already packed with the bodies of those who tried to escape before. time the newcomers realize those present are no longer human. They are already being consumed. There are two types of screams. Those born from the fear of being eaten, and those born from the fear of being burned alive. There are no exceptions. Small elevator, words? Hello? Elevator is a microcosm of what the hotel has become. Vision of hell is so close, I can feel the agony flush against my skin. I want to throw up. Oh, let me get a better look at those dogs. Yep, you can tell Vlav is a bad guy because he cuts his dog's ears to make them pointy and scary. I can understand, to an extent, cropping the tails of certain dogs because they're essentially not bred to have long tails, so they can injure themselves and, like, sprain and, like, dislocate their tails. So I'm more willing to give a pass to that being done instead of, you know, just surgery to make your dog look more scary. I want to throw up, but I can't. If I did, I'd just become part of this horrible ocean of red. Ooh, this is a remix too, I can hear it. I force my body to remember how to breathe. I grind my teeth together to regain a sense of control. The dogs notice me. As soon as they do, all sounds from the floors below stops. That can only mean one thing. No one else is alive. Dogs break into a sprint towards me. I'm the only prey left within their hunting grounds. The black hounds approach me. Their bodies are marked with countless lines. They're no use to me now. My mind is too paralyzed to do anything. I can't even decide whether to fight or flee. One of the dogs leaps. No human could even come close to matching its speed. It covers the 20 meters of the hallway in less than 2 seconds. Orc! Its maw opens wide. Sharp, saw-like teeth reach for my throat. The dog's movements are fast and deadly efficient. The second my mind manages to process that it's leaping at me, the beast closes its fangs around my neck with a terrible gnashing sound. This is where Shiki Tono dies. Unless you lock the fuck in right now. No, that isn't right. This won't kill me. I won't die here. Seeing death isn't new to me. It was a hot summer day. It was so long ago that it was merely 7 years. Back then, I'd witnessed something far more horrifying. I thrust my knife into the forehead of the dog that tries to gnaw my throat. As if on autopilot, my arm swung up the second the monster's canines touched my skin, before it could pierce my carotid artery. I surprised even myself. Like a machine whose only function is cutting and slicing. I thread the knife through the dog's forehead with mechanical precision. It comes easy, as I am merely cutting through one of the dog's lines. Normally, destroying an animal's brain wouldn't cause the body to cease. Normally, destroying an animal's brain wouldn't cause its body to cease functioning immediately. The muscles will move in spasm in response to the brain's final signals, carrying out their last commands to the best of their abilities. Even if I tore my blade straight through the dog's head, its fangs would still tear through my neck. This is different. I didn't just kill the dog. I brought it death. Death means total cessation. No matter how monstrous the dog was, it lost every ounce of power the second I killed it. It falls limply to the ground. The second dog is already lunging towards me in its place. I stab the knife into its wide-open jaw. My blade buries into its wet flesh, The skin of the dog may be oddly tough. The insides are soft and yielding, its flesh and bone having long rotted. But I messed up this time. This dog's lines aren't on its head. They're all congregated around its chest. I've managed to stab it, but the damage done is little more than a flesh wound. The knife has pierced the dog's maw, reaching the back of its head, which naturally means that the hand holding the knife is now fully enveloped by the creature's mouth. Actually, if you're being attacked by a dog, this is what you want to do. Like, the thing to do is essentially sacrifice your non-dominant hand. Either one, you know, your forearm for the dog to latch onto, so then you can, you know, go for the eyes or something, or like pin it and try to like strangle it, or take that hand and try to shove it down its throat and choke it. That's what you're supposed to do if a wild dog attacks you. And then, you know, obviously not get mauled by its pack, which if it has other dogs with it, you're kind of fucked. Dog is still very much alive. Ow. Clamps his jaw shut around my outstretched arm. I feel the strain as it pulls against the soft cartilage between my hand and my wrist. Any moment now, it'll tear straight through the flesh. Pain is enough to snap me back to reality. Ow. Ah, this fucking hurts! Oh, what the hell am I doing? Getting my arm torn to shreds just by sticking the knife into a dog's mouth. I struggle and squirm, trying to wrench my arm out of its vice-like grip. And just grab the knife and twist. Something gnashes at my arm. Intense pain shoots up through my nerves like a firework. The teeth feel like they're stuck deep within my arm. It's awfully lively for something with a knife in its skull. The dog presses its weight against me, toppling both of us and pinning me down against the carpet. Ooh, that's not good. Oh, it doesn't look like this one has cropped ears, though. I guess Vlav is only half a bad guy. My back is driven hard against the floor. Even now, its grip on my arm hasn't loosened one bit. With my knife still plunged deep inside its head, Black Dog tightens its jaw further. It's gonna rip off my arm. This is insane. What kind of dog keeps biting down in a situation like this? I mean, you've clearly never played Resident Evil 1 and got the shit scared out of you in that hallway. Something warm and wet drips down to my elbow. Red blood is dribbling from the dog's frenzied, quivering lips. It might be the dog's blood trickling down my arm from the knife. Or it might be my blood, flowing freely as the dog tries to render my arm into mincemeat. My scrambling brain doesn't matter much. The dog refuses to release its prize. There's no way I can run away with the dog still clutching to my arm. Not that running away was ever much of an option to begin with. Nor did I have any intention of doing so. I just want to survive. And in order to survive, there's only ever one condition. All I have to do is kill. How do I do that? It won't be long till one of my arms gets chewed off. That arm is still gripping the knife. The full weight of the dog has me trapped against the carpet. Even if I managed to pull my arm free, chances are the dog would have its jaws around my neck the very next second. Desperate circumstances force a weak chuckle to escape my lips. I just need some time to assess the situation. Some time to really think it through. That's how I've always done things. That's how I was taught. Like, look, see how there are plenty of lines running along the back of the dog's head? Yeah, just go deeper. The path to survival is blindingly clear. Yeah, it's like a Chinese finger trap, you know? Trying to pull away just gets you stuck further, you know? You gotta push. This is a wild beast, a monster that devours humans. But when it's this close to me, I'm painfully aware that its wildly beating heart, burning with its own desire to live. I clamp down on my arm. It clamps down on my arm even harder than before. I'm such an idiot. I'm so stupid. I wish it was tearing out my own throat. I wish it was tearing my own throat out. Okay, strange sentence, but you're going through it. It makes sense that your thoughts are going to be very coherent. Kill or be killed. Natural, universal law. So why? Why does the supposed cruelty of the action give me so much pause? A thick drop of blood splashes against my face. Red fluid drips down my forehead and into my eyes. My vision is painted a deep crimson red. It burns itself into my retinas until red is all I can see. The warm, viscous liquid strikes me as oddly familiar. My consciousness slowly slips away from me. Even so, I can't kill something that's alive. Hypocrite. I've already killed something much bigger than some mutt. Ah, that's right. That time was different. With Arcueid, Shikitono wasn't thinking clearly at all. And when I killed that big dog, it was as if my body moved on its own, without my input. But this time, it requires me to make a conscious decision. Did the master tell you, Shiki? To use this power for yourself, not for anyone else. That's why, as I stay who I am, as long as I remain a decent human being, I will never take any life for granted. Hypocrite. I've done it all before, long ago. That dream from my childhood. Look, what's holding you back now? It was a hot summer day. Let's kill or be killed. Before me is the figure of a young boy drenched in blood. Already, my hands are stained with warm red blood. Mom said it was my turn on the Xbox, but he didn't listen. Killed before, haven't you? I stab. Rather than extract my arm, I instead bury it deeper as I slice through the beast's skull. A pained shriek echoes in my eardrums. Unable to cry out properly with my arm jammed down its throat, the dog's wail resembles a woman's shrill scream. Why do they always have to do so much alliteration with S's? Must be in tremendous pain. Not that it matters. I drive the knife deeper inside, together with my mangled arm. The blade pokes out from the back of the dog's skull. I split its skull and effortlessly slice through its hide, scattering globs of blood and brains across the carpet. Before I know it, I've thrust both my knife and my arm cleanly through the back of the dog's skull. And yet, it still lives. There's only one thing left for me to do. I take the knife from my bloodied right hand and move it to my left. The impaled dog's body trembles and squirms, seemingly pleading for mercy. It even stopped digging its fangs into my flesh as if to show remorse. I don't fucking care. I run my blade along the beast's lines and quickly dismantle its body. Yep, Tonoshiki, fucking pup snuffer. You know, break its bones while they're still soft and young. Look down on that which was once filled with life. Limp body no longer protests as I finally remove my arm from its maw. I don't know, man, if you can really call that thing, like, having been alive, like, maybe in a sense, but, like fucking look at it, dude. Like, that's a fucking, like, Resident Evil zombie dog. Like, it's not like you're putting down Old Yeller here. Like, that thing had to go. Like, sometimes you just gotta put an animal down. And, you know, this is one of those cases. Don't feel bad about it.
なんだ全然食い込んでないじゃないか
Yeah, your brain was just going into panic mode. Take a long look at my bloodied arm. My school uniform has been torn to shreds, but the gouges in my flesh aren't even a centimeter deep. The deluge of blood dripping down my arm earlier must have belonged to the dog. Well, yeah, you did stick a knife through the back of its head. I imagine that caused quite a bit of bleeding. It doesn't even hurt that badly anymore. My fear must have clouded my mind and amplified the pain in the heat of the moment. Still lying down on the floor, staring at the ceiling. My head hurts so much. My world is a patchwork stitched together by the lines of death. Though my limbs are freezing cold, my mind is spinning with a fever. Yeah, ride that battle high, dude, because you're gonna feel like shit and probably throw up afterwards. The corpses of the two dogs are right beside me. One of my arms is covered with blood, while the other one still clutches the reddened knife. Beneath this floor are the mangled and charred corpses of the victims that died in the pandemonium. There's nothing I can do but laugh. This isn't real. It can't possibly be real. I'm normal. Totally normal. Complete normie. Only weird thing here is the stream. The second I wake up, it'll all go away. But when did I start dreaming with my eyes open? The elevator chimes. Such a cute, clear noise. Entirely inappropriate for the current situation. It's called a gap moe, my guy.
エレベーター
It's the elevator adjacent to the one that brought the dogs. Yep, wave 2. My exhausted brain doesn't even try to contemplate what that means. The door opens. My mind might not be working, but my body will have to. In a dull haze, I grip the knife in my right hand and haul myself up to face the oncoming tragedy. I don't want to do this. I warily gaze inside the newly arrived elevator. Inside it is
から。
completely empty. A bit of an anticlimax in its own way. The danger is past. Everything's over. And I've already gotten a grasp of the situation on the lower floors. Which means there's no reason for me to stick around here. I turn to leave when
誰か
I hear a woman's voice. She sounds so desperate, it almost seems out of touch with reality. Her pleading screams grow in volume, accompanied by panicked footfalls. There's no mistaking it. Must have been a survivor. Out of breath as she frantically works her way up the stairwell next to the elevators.
やったここ燃えてない
She sounds relieved. But she doesn't slow her pace. Within moments, I can see her, spilling from the stairwell and into the hallway.
ねえそこの君
Hello! Good to meet ya. She starts running again as she takes note of me.
やった助かった私助かった
Her expression, overcast and pale with fear, is lit up by a flash of joy as her eyes focus on me. A white-gloved hand seizes her, ripping her from salvation and back into hell.
そういや
Man, why do you gotta do her dirty like that, Flav? Just like hit her with like a fucking like one of your ice bolts, you know? I was about to say Hadoken, but you know, that's more of a fireball. Still watching me, the woman begs for help. And then she falls silent. No resistance, no constraints that bind her. The second she's grabbed, she loses consciousness, as if this were a dream and she was snapped awake, leaving only her body behind. Stop. Stop this at once. That woman. She has nothing to do with this. She was just a sweet and innocent girl. Preying on her is...
やめ
Cries come too late. Not that they would have changed anything. Eyes are fixated on the woman's neck. Starry orbs of light flicker and scatter within my vision. Rage like never before boils in my chest. My vision clears, and I see two soulless pits amid a deluge of blood. The woman's legs twitch ever so slightly, her fingers jolting reflexively. It's a little hard to tell, but is that just like a normal like business suit? It kind of looks like Noelle. Nah, it's not. Noelle has like a necklace, doesn't she? It's just another, you know, generic looking woman, which I guess is kind of Noelle's design. It has to be the first time I've seen it happen. But I don't need to be familiar with the sight to comprehend the horrific spectacle in front of me. The drinking and gulping of the monster is almost unnaturally loud against the otherwise silent hallway. Oh, Vlov's the kind of guy that like really smacks his teeth when he's eating, so that way you can hear it from like 2 seats down. My dad is the exact same way, and it makes me want to fucking scream. Like, it's terrible. Like, he'll be eating like yogurt or something, and I can fucking hear his teeth hitting the spoon. Like, why the fuck are you chewing on the spoon, you animal? Oh god, now I'm getting fucking like all riled up. When it's had its fill, the monster discards her body without a second thought. Her body wavers, frail like a withered tree. Ballerina tiptoeing the final line between life and death. I gaze at her pitiful form. The woman is totally silent. The only sound is that of rushing blood. And then her back splits open. In a single moment, a fountain of blood erupts. The vampire sighs in relief as he bathes in the scarlet shower. You're so fucking extra, dude. Why can't you be normal? Like, you're probably rich, right? Just like open a blood bank and, you know, have it be a front to just, you know, get blood for free and not have to do this. In an instant, everything around me changes. The sweltering temperature finally seems to match up with reality. A dam of fire bursts, flooding out all at once. The hallway is absolutely enveloped by flames. The heat presses against me, singeing and stinging at my skin like claws. If I were to take a breath now, I'd surely burn my lungs. Something is strange here. The flames continue licking at their surroundings. And yet the building isn't on fire. The only thing still alive as the only thing still alive here, I am the only one left to feel this inferno. My headache intensifies. The man begins walking my way. Clear he's the source of this river of flames. The closer he gets, the more terrible the heat becomes. He's still 15 meters away from me. But even at this distance, it's impossible for me to breathe. I realized that nothing could survive in this man's vicinity. The proximity alone would lead to certain incineration. The shadow continues onward in my direction. He's lean and tall, wearing antiquated clothes topped with a heavy fur cloak. His figure may be human-like. Everything about him screams that he's anything but. Something off about him. Something wild and crazy. Only 13 meters now. So, Vlav, where do you get your clothes? Do you have, do you know, a vampire seamstress and tailor that you go to get your fit? Or do you just, raid museums and, old aristocratic houses and, search through their drawers looking for something that fits? He continues without a sound. I glare at the man, knife firmly in hand. Doesn't respond. I'm starting to wonder if he can even see me. 10 meters. I train my eyes on his body. Amid the rising flames, I can finally see the lines of death that cover him. Hey, there's one of the points. My brain feels like soup boiling over an open flame. What is that? A dense and intricate torrent of death swirls at the center of it all. And at the center of the torrent is an odd glimmer, bright and shiny like a precious jewel. My head hurts too much to keep staring at it. Like how staring straight into the sun will burn your retinas. There's no way I can directly stare at his core for too long. If I don't steel myself, my brain itself might rupture at the sight of it. 8 meters. He draws ever closer. The temperature rises, but not enough to cook through human flesh yet. 6 meters. The man stops. His focus falls on me. It took him long enough to notice me standing here. He's like, hey, I'm trying to get to the door at the end of the hall. Can you please move? You're blocking the middle of the hallway. I meet his gaze. Shouldn't make eye contact. Arcueid's words of warning ring clearly in my ears. I was too busy staring at his eyes. It's like if you have social anxiety, you kind of look above their eyes or between their eyes. You don't stare them directly in the eye. I can't tear my eyes away. I can't ignore the abyss before me. It's different. The eyes can't be the mystic eyes Arcueid was talking about. These are entirely, fundamentally different. They aren't the eyes that bind the viewer. They're just filled with madness. The eyes of one who has lost his mind. A madman. A poor, hapless man driven crazy by his own impulses. And just like me. Instincts scream at me to get out of danger. Every alarm in my body tells me that this is bad news. Quick, spam shield! But my body won't move. Not even as much as a single fingertip. Danger signals fire throughout my synapses. Synapses. No matter the cost, I have to get away from him. If I don't, it'll be the end for me. Too late. A creature with sickly eyes stares at me, but barely pays me any notice. From its outstretched hand unfolds a fire that'll burn me alive. I'm going to die. This fire is as real as it is terrifying. Different from the blue flames that flooded the hallway. They were some sort of byproduct. effect to his cause. It'd swallow you alive, but you wouldn't die immediately. It'd scorch you with some awful phantom pain that feeds off life itself. These flames are different. It's getting close is enough to char the skin, enough to burn all organic matter to ashes. Fire engulfs me from all sides like a claw seizing its prey. Its will cleaves my body in two, neatly cauterizing the flesh where it's ripped apart. The only thing more real than this fire is my fate. Yet, just before I die, my body's flung backwards with a snap. Damn, fucking took you long enough.
Arcueid.
The name creaks from my throat. My mind goes blank. I have a rough understanding of what just transpired. Arcueid pulled me back before stepping in front of me to absorb the blow from that sinister, fiery hand. What I don't understand is why she did it. Wasn't I supposed to be your shield? Why was she getting hurt to protect me instead? Arcueid's face scrunches up in pain. Firebolt! 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 The man hits her with flaming claw again and again. This time she doesn't have to pull me out of the fire's way. Arcueid swings her right hand like she did in the alley, batting the flames away. She's unable to extinguish the flames entirely. The lingering embers strike her head on. Does that mean an Arcueid could be burned if she took the full brunt of these flames? They're hot enough to kill even her. This woman with barely any lines on her, supposed to be so far removed from death? The entire clash lasts less than 5 seconds. God damn. Fuck you guys. Fucking some real seashells by the seashore shit. The two exchange a dozen blows each way. I understand why. When they're done, the man solemnly lowers his arm. He stares at Arcueid intently, not saying a single word. Arcueid glares back bitterly as she clutches her red abdomen. The man has eyes for nothing but Arcueid. He doesn't even care that I'm here, safe behind Arcueid's protective figure, clutching a knife. Vapor slips from the man's lips. His breath is heavy, like being pushed through an exhaust pipe, as he reaches for his left hand to find something beneath his coat. I hear a faint metallic clink. Gotta be some kind of blade. Hiding a long object beneath his coat. The same object he used to rend through the back of that woman and turn her into a fountain of blood. He takes one step closer to Arcueid. The weapon is still carefully concealed beneath his coat.
無礼者豚でなければ名を名乗れそれとも貴様の親は最低限の言葉も教えぬ刀師だったのか
Okay, alright. Fucking Arc locking in. The man stops in his tracks. Light flickers beneath his hollow eyes, as if he's only just remembered himself. I don't even know what language Arcueid used, but the man clears his throat, composing himself. His voice carries a current of pain. He had forgotten he were a living being until just now.
礼儀は知っている。だが、貴様に語るほどの名はまだない。
Yes, yes, what point is it to exchange pleasantries with someone who's about to die, you know, get all villainous.
礼儀はなっていないけど恥だけは足りているようね元の名前は失ったか でも呼び名ぐらいはあるでしょ。継いだばかりのようだけど、仮にもその一角なんだから。
Oh, is he? Is he bumped up to fucking... Oh god, what's the proper order of words? Is it dead ancestor apostle, dead apostle ancestor? I don't know. There's a category for that. The atmosphere in the hall shifts. Azure flames well up all around the corridor, burning ever brighter. Looks like Arcueid hit his sore spot.
ブロー
A pained expression paints his face.
ブローブアルハンゲリ
Okay. Are you from Archangel? You know, like the Arctic Sea port? He declares his name.
知らない名前。私が記録していない以上、正当な後継者とも思えない。もしかして親は自滅？
Or did you kill them?
そうではない。ご当主は
Real vampire stuff.
俺が仕留めた。
Yeah, they're kind of like Sith in that aspect.
なったば
You
か
know,
り
you
に
drop
沿
your
った
guard
こ
for
と。
1 second and your apprentice just, stabs you in the back.
じゃあ次は私を殺して箔をつけたい？
名誉は己の胸にあるものだ。
Okay.
俺が欲しいものしか奪わない。
That was neither yes nor no. Could you please answer the question?
心構えが
Mr.
立派だけ
Archangel.
ど、それなら私だけに絞りなさい。これはちょっとやりすぎよ。
いや
They could have just sent a letter in the
この
mail.
都市は汚れている。
You're not wrong.
焼き尽くさなければ俺の心情にも劣る。
あっそう。つまり蛮族同然の三流使徒だったわけ。
I mean,
ソヤ
he is
であ
Russian.
ることは自覚
Maybe?
してい
I
る。
don't know. It's a very Slavic name, at least.
神祖の姫、その心臓を俺によこせ。
The area around Lov twists with a simmering heat. Like a river bursting through its banks, the fire rushes in our direction. Arcueid stands in front of me like a breakwater, holding back the flood from swallowing me whole.
動かないで式。この炎があいつの武器。消し済みになりたくなかったら、私の後ろから離れないで。
Don't have to tell me twice. I appreciate her warning. Something about her words strikes me as odd. This is his weapon? Is she really sure about that? I mean, after creating these high temperatures, he's still... No, this isn't the time to think about that. Focusing, I tightly grip the knife in my hand. He's coming. The hallway is now a cavern of flame. Lov pulls the blade from his coat. Yeah, what? That's it? For some strange reason, Lov suddenly turns his back towards us. He strides down the hall and leisurely enters the elevator, leaving us behind as if nothing had happened. Okay, now I officially don't understand a goddamn thing. I don't understand those dogs, I don't understand the flames that covered the hallway, and I don't understand the walking nightmare that attacked the hotel. Arcueid slumps against me with a thud. Oh, she's got a nasty wound. Looks like she managed to stop the bleeding, but her face is contorted in pain. Still fresh. After all, she only just received the wound while she was shielding me from certain death.
そうだよ。お前、なんで？
ちょっと甘く見
Just
て
a
た。
little. He got some good hits in.
あれくらいなら式を助けて、私も軽くかわせると思ったんだけど。
Yeah, I kind of realized how badly you
さ
got
す
D-leveled,
がだね、
huh?
式。式にやられた傷、 そんなに甘くなかったみたい。
With her face still scrunched up in pain, Arcueid smiles as if she were amused by her own words. I can't bear to look at her. Not only did she suffer this wound while protecting me, I'm the reason she's this weak in the first place. Why is she still smiling at me so stupidly? How am I even supposed to respond? Arcueid leans against me, putting her weight on my shoulder as she closes her eyes.
ちょっと待て、何目を閉じてるんだバカ。しっかりしろ。お前は夜なら死なない吸血鬼なんだろ。
Just put her out under the moonlight, she'll be fine.
でも私
Like I said, she just needs some perennial mooning to absorb those sun rays. Or moon rays, I guess.
悪いんだけど部屋まで連れ帰っておいて。
Arcueid collapses against me. I managed to catch her just in time, arms wrapped tight around her slender body.
ちょっと待ってくれ。そんな。
I don't know your address! If you die on me here, I'll really have no idea how to respond.
ダメだ。起きろ、アルクエイド。
Yeah, don't you know it's a social faux pas in this country to just fall on someone and then die? I shout at her, shivering. Her eyes remain closed. When? Her soft snoring sounds so content. Starting to feel like an idiot for being worried about her at all. Yeah, my concern was wasted on her. She's not dying. She just fell asleep.
部屋まで連れてけって、また勝手なこと言いやがって。
Yeah, we're not carrying you on our back, though. We're just, like, grabbing your ankles and dragging you behind us, going down the stairwell, hitting your head on every single one on the way down. It's not like there's any other option, though. Can't exactly stay at the hotel when it's like this. Things will get difficult if we stick around the scene of a massacre. Despite everything being limited to just the hotel, as morning comes and people arrive, it'll quickly be clear what happened. My head still hurts. There we go. Things look much nicer now. Arcueid isn't the only one who's at her limit. I put my glasses back on to at least alleviate my headache.
アルクエイドの部屋って。ああ、あそこか。
Even though I've only visited it once, I still vividly recall its location. Well, no point loitering here any longer. I gather up our things from the royal suite, pull Arcueid into my arms, and leave the barren hotel with a feeling of shame pressing down on my shoulders. Did you guys at least pay for the room in advance, or did you just, kind of skimp on the bill, dine and dash? It's already light outside.
そうか。そういうことか。
That explains why the man left so suddenly. The sun illuminates the city with its gentle light. Night has given way to day. For now, I should just focus on getting Arcueid the rest she needs. Taking a taxi is out of the question. Stand outside. A pair of this suspicious gets into your car. You definitely remember their faces. I mean, we stand out, not outside. I'm like, yes, they are definitely outside the hotel, but no, they stand out like a sore thumb. Instead, I carry Arcueid as far from the hotel as I can before boarding a bus bound for Soya Station. We're lucky. Given the early hour, there are no witnesses or curious onlookers to point their gaze at us. The emergency exit around the back is exactly like I left it 2 days ago. Neither the residents nor the building's caretakers must have noticed the lock was broken. It's 6:30 in the morning now. I sneak into the self-proclaimed vampire's room just like I did last time. Finally, this long mess of a day can be laid to rest. Sure, we'll save. Now that was a good bit of content. So I wonder how many save slots there are. Do I just have infinite saves? Oh boy, day 5. End of the work week. We made it, boys. Man, Akia's gonna be pissed. Oh, that's a nice apartment. You know, a little old-fashioned, but I actually dig the look. Arcueid's room doesn't exactly scream vampire. I wasn't in the right state of mind last time, so I didn't get a good look, but it's just a normal apartment. I mean, kind of like your grandma's apartment, but no, it has a refined old style to it. There isn't a bottle of blood in sight. No mysterious sculptures or antiques either.
冷蔵庫に食器まで完備してるし。何なんだろうな、こいつ。
Hamburger. They also probably could have come with the apartment, you know, it could be a pre-furnished one. I muttered to myself as I lay her down on the bed sheets. Arcueid might be light, but that doesn't make it any less exhausting to have carried her all the way here. Same, bud. I plant myself right there on the floor and catch my breath. It's just about 7 o'clock.
そっか。カーテン閉めてやらないと。
I force one last ounce of strength into my tired bones and shut the curtains. And with that, my body finally releases the tension it's been holding on to all this time. As I try to sit back down, my knees give out and send me crashing onto the floor.
情けない。女の子一人運んだだけで。これか。
I mean, you still haven't eaten in like over 24 hours, so you're feeling it. Ever since my accident, my body's been slow to heal from injuries. Though that was never cause for me to shy away from working out. Arima's had a dojo, so I always made sure to exercise as much as I could. Even a common cold can be dangerous if you don't take care of yourself. But since I've kept active, I'd say I'm about as fit as anyone. It's just my stamina that's awful. Like an athlete geared for a single sport, I'm a sprinter that isn't gonna be winning any marathons. Now that I'm lying on the ground, there's no way I'm getting up again. I spent the entire night talking to Arcueid, and it's been a full day since I had anything decent to eat. It's kind of amazing that I've managed to hold out this long, frankly.
アルクエイド、傷大丈夫かな。
I'd say at this point, it's socially acceptable to raid her fridge to see what she's got. Like, even just like, oh, a jar of pickles, I guess this'll do. And then you eat all of her pickle in one gulp. I steal a glance at the girl on the bed. Her abdomen seems to have stopped bleeding. And if she can come back to life after being dismembered, I'm not really sure I need to be worried in the first place.
どうかしてるな。
My head throbs like I have a fever. I'm so tired I can barely breathe. Yet here I am, more worried about her than about myself. I really am coming down with something.
This 衝突事故はオートバイのブレーキペダルが何らかの異常をきたしており、ブレーキの効かない状態で急な坂道を降りたことが原因
And
と
that's
見ら
why
れて
you
いま
don't
す。
ride motorcycles, people. Those things are just little fucking death traps.
負傷者は2名。幸い 死者はおりませんでした。
Damn, story hasn't even broken on the news yet.
寝ちゃったのか俺。
I guess I was tired enough to pass out right here on the floor. Ugh. Looks like someone opened the curtains and covered me with a blanket while I was still snoozing. I'd wager it's past noon by now. The TV is switched on and playing the same old news in the background. I look at the bed, but I don't see Arcueid.
あいつどこに？
I prop myself up to get a better look around. There's a hint of movement coming from the kitchen in the next room.
あんな体のくせに何動き回ってるんだ。
She's fine. It'll buff. I shrug off the blanket as I lurch to my feet. I'd better head to the kitchen and check out her wounds.
次のニュースです。本日未明、倉見橋ドームホテル
Uh-oh.
で火災が発生しました。内部からの火災警報はなく、午前6時、業務に戻ったスタッフがホテル内の異常を発見し、警察に通報。現在、消防署と連携を取りながら、ホテル内の消火作業を続けている模様です。
Well, that's not good. I freeze in place. My gaze is drawn back to the newscast.
ホテルに宿泊していた200名の安否は未だ確認されておりません。現在、消火作業は急ピッチで進められていますが、
Well, that's spooky.
ホテル内から要救助者は1名も発見されず、
I bet the hotel owners, they're watching the news too and they're about to die from shock and be added to the death count. News anchor continues droning on about the details in a detached voice. List of 200 names scroll across a photo of the hotel we stayed at last night. Neither Arcueid's nor my name is listed.
警察の調べによると、ホテル内の壁が一部破損していることから、通常の火災ではなく、ホテルの構造結構
Oh, like a gas leak? It's always just default to the good old gas leak. It's like fucking #1 pick in the church's cover-up book. Weird things happen? I don't know, gas leak. There's fire and like it looks like a giant explosion happened. Gas leak. There's like claw marks and shit up on the ceiling. It was the gas. I turn off the TV. 200 guests remain unaccounted for. They have yet to find any survivors. They already know what they know. Hold out on telling anyone the truth. That every last person in the hotel was engulfed by those insane flames and burned to a crisp, leaving nothing behind. It has to do with like Japanese laws. Like you can't legally pronounce someone dead until like a doctor does it, even if they're, a pile of hamburger meat. I resist the urge to hurl. Can't. Not here. Not now. Simply feeling sick would make me no better than a swine. If they're coming out of that alive, the only thing I should let myself feel is hatred. 200 people. 200 people of whom not a trace remains, were massacred without a shred of sympathy or mercy. His face flares vividly in my mind. I don't know who he is. All I know is that he's the monster behind the carnage. Is my heart numb from all the things I saw? Fear still courses through my veins. Anger, too, boiling around like a snake. Yet my thoughts remain cool and collected. It's like my brain and my heart are working on two different frequencies. Just thinking about that fur-clad man makes me want to rage. My fingertips tingle with alertness, primed for action. Don't need emotions to know what to do. Don't need fire or heat or passion. All I need to do is cleanly cut through his lines.
気がついたの、シキ。
Arcueid pokes her head around from the kitchen.
怖い顔しちゃって何かあった？
Oh, just like real life, watching the news just makes you angry. Arcueid talks to me casually, like nothing happened.
いや別に
It's bad for your blood pressure this early in the morning.
おはよ
おはよう朝の挨拶をするなんて珍しい経験で
Her sweet smile takes me by surprise. I need to swallow hard to even get out my breathing. Cold thoughts of vengeance that clogged my mind melt like snow before the sun. Ugh, what am I even thinking about? Get it together, Shiki. The whole reason you got up in the first place was to check on Arcueid.
アルクエイド傷はいいのか
傷？ええ、とりあえず問題ないわ。
Yeah, pushed back in all the guts and, threw some duct tape on it, good to go. Arcueid seems to be doing just fine. Looks like she's back to the way she was before. If anything, she's definitely looking better than I'm feeling right about now.
そうかそれならよかった
At least the person in my immediate vicinity is safe. What the hell am I talking about? Arcueid isn't even a person. At least, not in the usual sense. How did I forget that? I must still be half asleep.
でもまあいいことには変わりはないよなお前の傷大したことじゃなかったんだから
Well.
へえ、どうしたの
Pretty bad.
シキ？ちょっと前までは私のこと化け物呼ばわりしてたくせに。
I mean, you still are, a wound like that would, put a normal person in the ground 10 times over.
あのなちょっと前までじゃなくて今でもそう思ってるでもそれとこれとは別問題だろ助けてもらったらか
助けたって私がシキを？
Yeah, he was about to be, fucking atomized. Arcueid's eyes are wide with surprise. Did you not even realize she rescued me?
そうだよお前は俺を助けてくれたんだよだから今更だけどかばってくれてありがとうお前に引っ張られなかったら俺も焼け死んでいたところだ
Yeah, it would have been real lame after, absolutely stunting on those 2 dogs.
ありがとうって別にいいよ
Just
そん
to
な
get
こと考え
fucking
なく
zoned
て
out with a fireball.
シキがグローブと出会った原因は私にあるんだしシキに感謝される資格はないもの
助けられたのも事実だろアルクエイドは俺をかばってくれたその点だけは本当に感謝してる
確かに事実だけ見ればそうだけどやっぱりそれは違うよシキ見張り役を引き受けなければあなたはあんな目には合わなかった
I mean, yeah, but you made him do it.
シ
Kind of.
キの生活に毒を混ぜたのは
Guilt
私よ
tripped him into it.
あなたは私を憎みこそすれ感謝するのは間違ってるんじゃない
Arcueid has gotten weirdly caught up on this.
間違ってないよ
I mean, kinda, a little.
自分
At
の
least from
行
her
動は
perspective.
自分で責任を持つしかないずっと昔にそういうことを教えてくれた人がいたんだ周りがどうあれ自分が望んでやったことは自分の手で決着をつけなさいって
Well, most people do, but you have me deciding those choices for you. And ooh, buddy, I see a lot of red on this guide, so it's not going to be good for you in the future. Which is why I don't hold the slightest grudge against her over the whole guard thing either. If there's anyone to blame for getting me into this mess, it's myself.
そっか
And the
言
voices
われて
inside
み
your
れ
head.
ば盾が必要になったのはシキが私を殺したからだものねならあなたを巻き込んだことについて私が謝る必要はないってこと
I mean, yes, but no. No, you don't have to, but also, yes, you still should apologize because it's the social and polite thing to do.
ああそういうこと自業自得なんだよ今の俺は
自業自得かうんシキってば初めから運が悪かったのね 人を殺すにしたって私以外の子にしておけばこんなことにはならなかっただろうし。
Yeah, I could have just lived the rest of your life being, a normal rich kid that, killed someone that one time, but because he's from a wealthy and influential family, it just gets swept under the rug and not investigated whatsoever.
あのな
Like, you know for a fact, Akia would have buried that shit if, it ever, if the stench of it, if they ever caught wind of it, they'd be like, hey, whoa, hang on now. That's assuming I would have killed someone else at all. It's not like I make a habit out of stalking people down on the street and murdering them. Arcueid was the first and only person for whom I've ever felt that uncontrollable urge to kill. And I have a feeling I wouldn't just feel that for anyone else.
何？忘れ物でも思い出したの？
Yeah, that I'm hungry as shit. When do you make?
いや忘れ物というかなんていうか考えてみればどうして
Yeah,
俺
there's the
は
rub, ain't it?
お前を殺そうなんて思ったんだろう
Arcueid knits her brow in disapproval. A fair reaction. You wouldn't want to hear that your murderer doesn't even know why they killed you.
理由なんてないんじゃない？
Yeah, you're just a bloodthirsty psychopath, right?
だってシキは根っからの殺人鬼なんだから。
は
Yeah, your gears are just defective.
私を襲った時なんてすごく手慣れていたものね。チャイムを押して扉が開いた瞬間に手を差し込んできて有無を言わさず中に押し入る。
Striking me down before I even had a chance to react.
こっちが驚いている間に狙撃で生命活動を停止させて、あとはザックザクに切り裂いてバラバラにする。あの不意打ちは完璧だった。どのくらい完璧だったかっていうと、あの時の指揮をそのままキャンバスに閉じ込めればそれ以上はないほどの絵になるぐらい完璧だった。
No one expects an ambush coming directly from the front with like no obfuscation whatsoever. That's what makes it, so surprising.
私がまだ正常なままだったらお城に持ち帰って飾ってあげたいぐらい。
Your castle's a little macabre. Arcueid excitedly rattles off a litany of bizarre praise. But there's just one issue.
そ
けど今回は殺した相手が悪かったわね。シキが今まで何人殺してきたかは知らないけど、獲物に私を選んだ時点で年貢の納め時だったんじゃない？
One small
何
issue
よ
there,
さ
Arcueid.
っきから怖い顔して。言いたいことがあるならはっきり言えばいいのに。私とあなたの間で今さら我慢することなんてないでしょ？
Yeah, we're comrades in arms, having survived a brutal life and death encounter together. We're bonded now. Our hearts are, unobfuscated to each other. How right she is. I nod and beckon her to come closer. It's a secret. Lean in.
何？内緒話？
Mm-hmm. We're gonna talk real quiet. We don't want anyone to hear. Arcueid closes the gap between us quickly, eyes sparkling with anticipation. I bring my lips to her ear and decide to say my piece.
あのなアルクエイド
何？
1, 2.
そんなわけないだろこのバカ女
My voice echoes throughout the apartment. I blasted Arcueid's eardrums with all the volume I could muster.
いっ
Arcueid groans as she makes a big show of clutching her ears. Also, if you didn't know, that's exactly how it sounds when you blow your eardrums out. I tell this story all the time because it's fun, but when I was doing a firing party for a funeral, we had to stand kind of like at a diagonal because we were on like a small walkway. It was kind of like one of those interior, like not a theater, but kind of halls where they do like presentations and stuff. And like one entire wall was windows, and we were outside. and there wasn't enough room on the walkway, so we kind of had to like stand diagonally instead of shoulder to shoulder like we normally do. And it looked good, but I noticed I was standing in the middle as we're going through our motions, bringing our rifles down to fire. I'm like, wait a minute, that's the barrel of a gun right next to my head. Big old 308 in there. Well, a blank cartridge, but nonetheless, still a large powder charge. And we're right up against a wall, so that sound's just gonna echo right on back. Uh-oh. Fucking bang, bang, bang. Fucking 3 times. I couldn't hear shit for like 2 days. I had to go in and like give the next of kin, that the wife, like the shells and the flag and all that. She said something to me. I could not hear what she said at all. I just kind of did like a solemn nod after she was done, and then I stood up, did my salute and walked away. It's like having your head in a fishbowl with that ringing going on. It was terrible. Fortunately, my hearing recovered fine. Like I had no lasting damage to it. Though for a couple months afterwards, my eardrum would just start like twitching, and it sound like a thumping was going on inside my head because the vibrations my own eardrum. I don't recommend it. It was bad. I probably damaged something, but not to the point where it was permanent. Arcueid groans as she makes a big show of clutching her ear.
もう頭きた。突然何するのよ、シキ。
怒りたいのはこっちの方だ。
Yeah, you don't just call someone a murderer. That's like fucking slander.
なんか微妙にめちゃくちゃな注文してきやがるかと思えば、お前そういうことだったのか。
え？そういうことって何？
Yeah, she thinks you're like some John Wick or something.
俺をイカれた殺人鬼だと思い込んで、化け物相手に盾になれとか見張りをやれとか無茶な注文をしてきたことだよ。ああ、もうとんでもない勘違いをしやがって。いいか、この際言っておくけど、俺は殺人鬼でも殺人狂でもない。人を殺すなんてお前が初めてだったんだから。
You were my first time. My confession must have come as quite a surprise. Her sheer shock makes me finally realize how extraordinary it was that I murdered her.
嘘。あんなに手慣れてて、あれが初めてだったっていうの、シキ。
そうだよ。こんなおかしな目を持ってるけど、俺だってそれなりにできるだけ
Yeah, that was a
真面目に生きてきたんだ。
Instinct took over there.
この線を使って人を殺したいなんて思ったことは一度もない。
ふん。それじゃあどうして見ず知らずの私を殺したりしたのよ。
It's not his fault. Your paranormal values were like so off the charts. It just like triggered something in his blood. It's like how certain breeds of dogs, like if you ever like hunting dogs, like a pointer, no training whatsoever, but they see like a goose or a duck in your yard, they just freeze. And then, they do the point, lean forward, they pull up the 1 foot and just point at it. They don't know why they're doing it. You never taught them to do it. They just do it. All they know is that I saw that bird, so therefore I must point. There is no underlying, impetus for it in their head. It's just all instinct.
だからそれが。
I'm about to tell her I don't know, but pause as I realize just what a coward I am.
あの時俺は
I just thought you were so pretty.
お前と街ですれ違った途端、吐きそうなぐらい気になって。
Oh damn. Like yeah, sure, sometimes you see a girl and she's so fucking attractive in comparison to me, I just want to throw up thinking about it. But yeah, he's like, you were so beautiful, I wanted to see if if your insides were as beautiful as your outsides. And your beautiful personality as well. That's what I mean on the inside, you know, your true self. That's wanted to get to know you, so that's why I rang your door so I could talk to you, you know. See how you are on the inside, you know. The second I saw her, I could only think of her snow-white form. I couldn't stop the lust welling up beneath my skin, or the vulgar grin that crept across my face as I chased her down.
俺はそのまま気がついたら君を
Right here in this room, without any rhyme or reason, I chopped up that beautiful figure and stood in the puddle of her bloody remains.
そうか
Strength evaporates from my body. No longer able to stand, I dropped to my knees. Of course, I don't have any right to be angry with Arcueid. Even if she's alive now, even if she was never human to begin with. The fact remains that I killed her with my own two hands. Like, oh yeah, I guess that does make me a fucking homicidal maniac. The fact that I can't even explain why I did it.
そうかって何がそうなの、シキ。
だからごめんって言わなくっちゃ
I've been using how weird this is all along to avoid doing something incredibly important.
ごめんごめんなアルクエイド俺は君をここで殺した俺は何よりそのことを一番最初に謝らないといけなかったのに
No wonder Arcueid thought I was some cold-blooded killer. Without showing any guilt or remorse, and acting like I was the victim. Not just that, even now I still don't know why.
殺したのは事実なんだだから俺は罰を受けないといけない
Yeah, let's go to the police. But we'll tell them together that I killed you.
いかないだろ
Like super hard, and you're super dead. And you'll be there to, you know, verify my story. Like, yep, he came in and cut me into 17 pieces. All over the floor. My guts were everywhere. What I did was beyond evil. A person who decides to take a life without reason doesn't deserve to walk free.
そう。シキは本当に自分でも理由がわからないのね。
Well, maybe it was just fate. Haha. I nod, still hanging my head.
つまり楽しいとも感じなかったってことでしょ
Oh, he felt fucking great when he was doing it. He fucking came in his pants.
うん。確かに殺人鬼の中には息をするみたいに人を殺すやつもいるけど。
It's just, you know, he got that post-nut clarity, and he was like, oh, fuck, this is bad.
そうだな一応そのつもりだけど
Even did the bad hookup thing of just, you know, running away as soon as possible. And trying not to think about it anymore. Be like, woo, let's pretend that didn't happen.
いいえ、まっとうすぎるぐらいまともよ、あなたは。それで、殺したくなったのは私だけなの？
Nope.
ああアルクエド以外にはそんな気持ちにはならなかった
なんだ、なら問題ないじゃない。
Yeah, you know, it's just a fluke.
ほら、
Shit happens.
顔を上げて式。あなたは殺人鬼なんかじゃないよ。
Yeah, look how bad you feel about it. You know, a real killer wouldn't feel remorseful. I lift my head, as if I've been forgiven. I'm not choking up or crying or anything. My throat is just giving out. You know, and there is a categorical difference between what you did. You know, that wasn't first-degree murder. You know, there was no intent to commit the crime. It was a crime of passion, which I'm pretty sure is only second degree. Arcueid is smiling, brimming with such confidence and trust that it startles me. I killed her, but she believes in me more than I believe in myself.
それに何の罰も受けなくていいと思う。
Yeah, if your victim forgives you, you know, it all washes out
た
even.
またまシキが殺したいって思った相手が私で、厄介なことにシキにはこれ以上ない殺人技巧が備わっていた。
Yeah, we both got unlucky, huh?
けど都合のいいことに私が吸血鬼だったんだから誰も死んでないでしょ、
Mm-hmm. So no crime was committed. It was just kind of assault.
だからシキがそんなに悩む必要はないよ。人間たちの社会の道徳も気にしなくていいと思う。人間にあなたは弾劾できない。だって
Yeah, you know, she's
今のところ
a
世界で
vampire,
死期を
and,
責め
you
てい
know,
いのは
not
被
a
害者で
human,
ある
so
私と
is
当
it
事者であ
really
る
a
シキ本人
crime
だけなんだから。
to kill her? Does the law specify vampires are included in the law? Probably not. I don't think so. You know, with their money, they could definitely get a good lawyer to spin it that way and get off. No charges. All charges dropped.
それはそうだけど、お前を殺したっていう事実だけは
Are allowed to get away with like child slavery in Africa on like cocoa plantations because they're like, well, you know, that slavery didn't happen in the US, so therefore you have no jurisdiction over it, which means we actually can't charge you for anything. So you must drop the charges. And then the courts do. And that's how you know there is no God and evil will exist unabated on this earth until the end of time, until humans are extinct. Even if what Arcueid says is true. Even if there's no proof that any crime occurred. I'm still gonna carry this sin with me forever.
それは当然よ。私だってまだ根に持ってるんだから。そう簡単に忘れられちゃ困るわ。
To like hit a raccoon that jumps out in the middle of the road and kill it. Like literally no chance to break, just comes out of the brushes immediately.
だけどね、シキ。
Right into your tire.
ちゃんとあなた本人がそう
And
思え
then
て、
just like
ず
sit
っと
on
後
the side
悔
of the
していく
road
んなら
on
問
his
題はないんじゃ
like
ない？
bumper and just, you know, not really cry about it, but just feel distraught about the fact that it happened. That'd just be cheating my way out though.
シキ、人間の中にはね、どんなに世の中を恨んでいても悪魔に魂を売れない人がいるわ。例えば吸血鬼相手にごめんなさいなんて言える正直者とかね。だから大丈夫。誰が何て言ったってシキ本人がそうじゃないって言い切ったってシキはまだ
Oh, sorry, Ark. I'm at a loss for words. You should say such kind, reassuring words to the man who murdered her.
ほら、そんなことより私たちにはもっと厄介な問題があるでしょ。シキの目も覚めたんだし、今後のことを話し合いたいんだけど。
We should start by eating breakfast, huh? Or maybe brunch? Lunch? What time is it? It's like someone flipped a switch. One moment, Arcueid is cheerfully chatting away, and the next she's on the ground.
アルクエイド
I rush to her side.
参ったな。やっぱりまだ無理みたい。
Her breathing is labored. Beads of sweat glisten across her brow. My eyes wander to her abdomen, where the slightest trace of red has started to seep through her white sweater.
お前、この傷
That's the one she incurred while protecting me in the hotel.
グローブに裂かれたところね。シキにやられたせいで治りが遅くなってるだけよ。
Oh no, not the healing factor.
とりあえず傷口だけは塞いでおいたんだけど、あんまり効果はなかったみたい。
Her tone is still as cheery as ever. But I notice an undercurrent of pain shuddering around the edges.
塞いでおいたって何で
Tape.
それ。
I mean, you can use tape in a pinch, but that's some rather drastic damage to just try to wrap up with some tape. Arcueid gestures at a brown object haphazardly on the wooden floor. At a glance, I mistake it for a small ring cake. But upon closer inspection, I realize it's packing tape.
バカも休み休みにしろ。ガムテープで傷口を縛るやつがどこにいるってんだ。
もう
Oh god,
あ
not the
んまり
gum
人の
tape.
ことバカバ
Fucking
カ
give
連呼
me
しないで
Umineko
よ。
flashbacks. Was Erica here?
なんだか本当にそうなのかなって考えちゃうじゃない。
Be for the best, because then at least you'd know about your condition.
うるさい。いいから傷口を見せろ。
I reach out a hand to lift her shirt, and Arcueid quickly steps away from me, dropping backwards onto the bed with a soft thud. What are we gonna do in the bed, Off?
傷口が開いたらどうするつもりだ。
いい
Yeah,
よ、
and on the
こん
nice
なの放っておい
comforter.
たって。シキこそバカな真似はやめてよね。女の子の服を剥ごうなんて人よりタチが悪いわよ。
Oh, hush. It's for medical reasons.
あのな、俺はお前を人間として見てないんだから、男も女もないだろ。
Mm-hmm.
ほら、いいからおとなしくしてろ。
It'd be like seeing a shaved chimp, you know, not really gonna do much,
一生追い目ができちゃう。
wind you up. Arcueid pouts and glares at me for a moment, but ultimately rolls over the bed in my direction. Her lips still firmly shut, she gets back on her feet with childlike reluctance. She's sulking about it. Looks like she'll at least let me take a look.
よし。どんな手当てをしたのか、ちょっと見せてみろ。
Haphazardly, I would guess. Oh. Arcueid lifts her sweater to reveal her abdomen.
But
I have to resist the urge to go off on a tirade again. The tape is tightly wrapped around not just her wound, but her entire abdomen. The second she lowers her shirt again, I pull Arcueid up into my arms.
何するのよ、シキ。
ベッドに寝かすんだよ。病院に連れて行きたいのは山々だけど、そういうわけにはいかないだろう。
But really, we should undo that tape and properly dress those wounds. I mean, it probably hurt like a bitch for her, but it's her own fault. I place her back onto the bed as gently as I can.
いいか。
Like, I'm not
俺が
great
戻
at
ってくるまで
suturing
絶
wounds,
対に動
but,
き
you
回る
know,
なよ。
I can do it. You're gonna have some messy, nasty-looking scars, but
さっきみたいに歩き回ったら、お前のことなんて忘れてさっさと逃げるからな。
I quickly scan the room. Not a first aid kit or even a bandage in sight. I guess you don't need any of that when you can revive whenever you want to. Hell, this might be the first time she's ever needed medical treatment. I feel around to check how much I have on me. 2,000 yen in cash. Not a lot.
いや、見栄を張ってる場合じゃない。アルクエド、お前金持ちだって言ったよな。
Yeah, lend me like a 50.
うん。お金には不自由してないけど、それが何よ。
You got any cash?
現金でもカードでもとにかく貸してくれ。手当にお前に効果があるかどうかはわからないけど、最低限の手当ぐらいしよ
う。いいけど、無駄かもしれないよ。
That's a thought that matters.
無駄でもやるんだ。そのまま放っておけるもんか。
Just get the sheets dirty if you keep like leaking like a sieve like that.
わかった。私も体の作りそのものはシキたちと同じなんだし、それなりに意味はあるかもしれないし。
Also, we should probably go into the bathroom and do this. It'll be easier to get the blood off the tiles than the sheets or the hardwood floor. Arcueid holds out a wad of 10,000 yen bills in front of me. I'm not even gonna ask where she pulled this stack of bills from.
お前は黙って横になってろ。あ、でも眠っちゃダメだからな。横になってもちゃんと起きてるんだぞ。
シキ、すごく無茶な
you
注
can put
文
it
し
on
て
the
るよ。
TV,
そ
but
れ
if you fall asleep, you'll never wake up again.
無茶だけどやれ。眠ると体の機能は低下する。 免疫力とか抵抗力な。
I'm pretty sure that's, like, not true. But,
なんで
okay.
傷が塞がっていないまま寝るとますます
Like,
悪
when
化
you
するんだ
sleep,
そう
your
だ。
body literally goes into, like, rest and recovery mode.
睡眠で回復するのは頭の疲れだけで傷や病気は治してくれないだろう。だからとりあえず手当てをするまでは起きていた方がいい。
I don't know about the scientific validity of that, Shiki.
へえ、それってその通りよ。
あのさ、なんで笑うんだよそこで。
Because it means you care.
だって式が頼りになるんだもん。
Mm-hmm. You must have a screw loose somewhere. But I keep from saying anything. I need to get back to the job at hand. I leave her bedroom and remove my bloodstained jacket before I head out. Time to go shopping. Wait, what? Something in the kitchen catches my eye as I head for the exit.
飯だ。
Sitting on the table is a meal, or rather, a plate of food. Maybe a mishmash of ingredients would be more accurate. At the very least, I think it was something that was supposed to resemble food. This must be why Arcueid was in the kitchen earlier. She said she normally doesn't eat anything. So I don't exactly need to guess who she was preparing all this food for.
あ、もう何なんだあいつ。
I'm annoyed. I can't stay here a second longer. I dash into town, hoping to find something that'll help her heal. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, with this side quest objective acquired, that is where we are going to be ending it here for today. Well, once again, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell so you guys know next time for the next episode of Tsukihime Remake. I almost said Umineko again because I was fucking thinking about Erica and duct tape. But yeah, our first encounter with Vlav survived. Over 200 people missing. Ain't it sad, Sachin? But yeah, we'll all reconvene in 2 days for you, tomorrow for me, or depending on when you're watching this, maybe 5 minutes for you because you're just gonna hit the next button and watch the next video on the playlist. But either way, that's all for right now. I will catch you guys all later. Bye-bye now.